armacore picatinny rail, manufactured here in Australia. There's a shop down in Dural on web goes by Australian Tactical Precision. I don't know them, never been there. I've never been to Dural. I have lived in Western Sydney for 5 years, but never made it to Dural. This picatinny rail, it's made for the T3x Tikka range. Impressions are excellent. I did a brief unwrapping before, you might have seen, but snag resistant, everything's chamfered off beautifully, feels amazing. It's a 60 to 61 aluminium. I've cleaned that bottom end 3 times already, just in case there was some grime on it, but now I've touched it all again. Just a quick wipe over, because you just don't know who's touched what, and now we're putting 2 metal surfaces together. You just don't want any, or at least excess skin oils under there or anything else, particularly if whoever packed it had KFC for lunch. Comes with the lug. Lug fits perfectly. Now, what I noticed a minute ago is that when the supplied screws secure in, it self-locates forward. It is so precision made that as these screws take, it presses the lug forward on the lug carrier. Now, obviously, it's a 30 cal, 3006. So as the recoil boots and the inertia of the scope stays still, you want that lug pushed forward. Just like when you're putting your scope rings on, you want to push them forward. So what happens though, when we torque wrench these things down, so this is a T10 little torque wrench, they self-locate the lug forward. We're talking like micromillimeters, and what that's done is just press that lug in. Okay, now I've very gently located one. I've fab tested this, so I know it's the first one I've put in. So now I'm going to go and grab my blue Loctite. Comes with instructions. You can lose blue or purple Loctite on these. So we're ready to rock and roll and do this for real. The only torque wrench I own is one for car servicing. So it starts at 20 Newton meters. This calls for 20 inch pounds. And I don't know if you guys are into that, but 20 inch pounds and 20 Newton meters. I made a right old mess of that, talking to the camera. Are very different things. I think it's by about 9x from memory. So I could put 9 times too much force by accident, not knowing that Newton meters and inch pounds are different. So what inch pounds feels like is if you're using a just a normal screwdriver and you tap the end of that screwdriver and just nip it. It's just a nip. It's not like a crank. You haven't used your forearm muscles. You haven't used your shoulder muscles. You've literally just nipped it together. Now the reason I haven't put the handle on, there, done, is because as soon as I get a lever on here and I start cranking this puppy around, I'm going to bust that thread out. So a firm 2 fingers will probably do it, but certainly not using too much muscle. This is like precision stuff. We've got a little bit of reliance on the Loctite doing its thing. The lug's going to do a lot in terms of like protecting the movement of the picatinny rail under the recoil of the rifle. So, all right, we've got that. It's nice and warm here. We're in Queensland at the moment. It's nice and warm here today, so I'm a bit just sweaty sitting still because that's how we roll in Queensland. So you'll see me use the towel just so I know I've actually got a... Okay, that's just taken, right? So 20 Newton meters of force by hand. I've just felt that seat. Bugger all more. Like, just make sure it's seated properly. That's it. If you're fortunate enough to have a job or a hobby or a bank account that allows you to buy a torque wrench, just make sure you've set the sucker up for inch pounds as per instructions. Okay, so the third of 4. Cool, that one took nicely. Now before the Loctite really sets off, just going to go back through the 3 I've done and just make sure there's nothing left in them. Now that first one I did, had no Loctite on it and it was really gentle. You see that? I didn't even have to like put any effort in. All it did was position everything. Now I did the first one first. They all do it, but the first one's closest to the lug. And I just feel like that would have encouraged that lug to seat properly. They all did it, but the manufacturing process, I mean, these Aussie guys, far out. Impressed. So this is the 4th of 4. It's got the Loctite on it. That's first seat. Not much more. That's how you install a picatinny rail. Made by Armacore, under the Armacore branding, AustralianTacticalPrecision.com. That's the T3x on the Tikka and T3, or T3x in 30.6. I'll give that a little minute and I'll just sit back and admire it, have a sip of my cuppa, and then we'll look at getting some rings on there. Yo!